Welcome back to Say Yes to You. This is my channel where I love to talk about things related to meditation, spirituality, personal development, universal laws, law of attraction, and the like. It is my goal that in every video I will be able to offer you a tip, trick, technique, process, tool that you can use to begin to say yes to you sooner than later. Now, this is part 2 of my 6-part series on how you can say yes to you this year. At the time of the publishing of this video, actually today is leap year, so happy leap year, but we're going to be going into spring soon. So now when I think about the winter season, I think hibernation, slowing down, conserving energy. This is a time to really set ourselves up to spring forward, with every pun intended, to spring forward with the rest of our year. We could be goal setting, rethinking how things have progressed since the start of the year, etc. So, since this is the end of February, for many of us, whatever New Year's resolutions we may have established for ourselves have long since fallen by the wayside, and that's not unusual at all. An older model of goal setting includes writing out your long-term goals, plotting your short-term goals to help you meet those long-term goals. But a lot of us fail in that because also part of that model is pushing through, soldiering on, barreling through, regardless of the outcome. So that you may have found that you've set the same resolutions for yourself year after year, but you're not really getting too much traction there. And it sets us up for a negative cycle to where, because of the failures, when we go to address the goal again, that failure energy is still lingering there. That disappointment is still lingering there. And when you go into whatever the activity is, whatever the goal is, with that underlying failure, it's dehumanizing, and it's not really setting you up for success. Now, as always, I do write out my notes to keep myself on track because these topics are really interesting to me, and I could just go on and on with these kind of things. So I'm going to refer to my notes here. Yes, so that never quit attitude when it comes to goal setting and just persevere. But that's not really addressing all sides of the problem. What I'm going to ask you to do is in line with that older model of goal setting, pursuing those goals. I'm going to ask you to get out a piece of paper and a pen, or open up the Notepad app in your device, and just think of 3 or 4 things that you would want to accomplish from this point going forward. Those could be things like losing weight, making more money, saving more money, looking for a new job, maybe writing up a new resume. Just write out 3 or 4 things on a piece of paper. And once that's done, just take a look at what you've written down. And for a lot of people, just simply seeing it on a piece of paper is enough to stir up feelings of nervousness, anger, fear. Some people might even have a physical sensation of nauseousness, of tightness. And that's your indication that it's not so much what it is that you want to do, is the belief that you're holding as far as, can you accomplish this goal? For many of us, there is an underlying belief that we are not enough to accomplish the goal. There's a movement right now of I am enough, and this is a concept, to my knowledge, developed by Marissa Peer. And Marissa Peer is a hypnotherapist out of the UK, And I believe she's the one who's really popularized this I Am Enough movement. So when you hear I am enough, it kind of sounds strange initially hearing it because you may be thinking, enough of what? Well, if it's something like making more money, for example, am I smart enough to be making more money? Am I talented enough to make more money? Am I disciplined enough to make more money? When it comes to losing weight, same idea. Am I disciplined enough? Do I have enough knowledge? There's going to be this train of thought that might be conscious or even unconscious that's kind of running there that is working against what you say it is that you want to do. So signs that you may have that program of I'm not enough running could be the following situations. Are you stuck in a job that you are always complaining about? Maybe it's not the job itself or the work itself. Maybe it's the coworkers. Are you mad, disappointed, angry with yourself because you're not setting boundaries with a coworker, setting boundaries with your supervisors? With someone who, gains weight and loses weight and gains weight and loses weight, just that cycle, that's a topic all unto itself. I would say it's really superficial. There are going to be, deeper underlying reasons as to why people make efforts to control their weight or have trouble controlling their weight. That's a whole other thing. But even the idea that there's something happening inside of you where it's hard for you, it's uncomfortable for you to maintain what many would consider to be a natural weight. Well, why would that be? Also, taking action or not taking action could be an indication that you have this belief that you are not enough. Sometimes there could be a paralysis that happens where you want to do something, but you're not moving on it. I'm not smart enough. I don't know enough. I don't have what it takes. Or even people who are constantly doing and doing, but missing the target. It could be a sabotage that's happening. You're taking all of these actions because you want to feel like you're doing something, that you're working towards it. But in taking, random shots in the dark, well, how are you going to hit the target if you're taking random shots in the dark? There may be a sabotage happening there because you don't feel that you are enough to obtain that goal. So if you clicked on to this video, I think I'm going to title the video, I'm not enough or not enough, something related to that. But if you clicked on this video, it's very possible that you too have this belief that you're not enough of something, okay? And what I would like to do right now is just test that. We're going to test it together. So what I'm going to ask you to do is to close your eyes and take 3 deep belly breaths. You're going to breathe in through your nose and then let it out with an audible sigh. Like you're really releasing the weight of the world off of you. Again, breathe in, take a deep breath in through your nose. Let it out with an audible sigh. And last time, deep breath in. Let it out with a sigh. And I'm going to ask you to imagine that this is December of 2020, and you're looking back at the year that's passed. And you have accomplished some of the things that you set out to do. You have begun to meet those goals, or maybe you've even met some of the goals. So allow yourself to feel that satisfaction. Allow yourself to feel the accomplishment. Allow yourself to feel optimism for the year coming. As you're enjoying those feelings, even at the suggestion, maybe that's when a little voice pops up to burst your bubble. Who do you think you're fooling? You could never do all of that. Those big dreams are not for you. It's not for you. You can't make it happen. or whatever that voice is telling you. That little voice is the limiting belief. That little voice is pointing to where it is that you feel like you're not enough. It's going to be different for everyone. It's going to be different for everyone. But in just doing that little mini meditation, that may be a crack in the door to what is really keeping you from pursuing those goals. So, because I love to offer a process that may help you in addressing that I am not enoughness, the process is something that was, to my knowledge, popularized by Louise Hay, arguably the godmother of the personal development movement. And Marie Hay is very well known for mirror work. And the mirror work is this transformative process that is so simple yet so confronting. It's my opinion that you really could do with some courage to begin to face yourself. So as the name implies, mirror work. All you need is a mirror and some time. And what you're going to do is look into the mirror, look into your own eyes, and affirm yourself. I would say ideally what you could do is based on the message that your mind was giving you when you were fantasizing about your accomplishments for the year 2020, whatever that little voice popped up to tell you, you're not smart enough, you're not driven enough, you're not disciplined enough, whatever the little voice told you, you're not good enough, whatever the little voice told you, you're going to flip it, invert it, and you can let that be your affirmation. Or you can go broad and use I am enough. But the idea is you look in the mirror, look into your own eyes. But I have heard it said, and I do feel a little something different when I look into my left eye. They say that the left eye is actually the window into your soul. Take it with a grain of salt. You look into both eyes, you look into the left eye, whatever you like, and you can say to yourself, affirm to yourself, I am enough. I am strong enough. I am confident. I am beautiful. Whatever it is that you feel like you want to build up in yourself, that's what you're saying to yourself in the mirror. And the reason I say it's confronting is because a lot of us are running around wearing masks. We're wearing a mask for the outside world as a means of protection, but sometimes we're showing ourselves the mask too. And when you look at your own eyes in the mirror, eventually that mask will fall away, and what you've been trying to avoid is right there in front of you. That's why I'd say it's confronting. It really, a lot of courage is really indicated here. But when you're able to begin that path and ideally move past it, it's so liberating. It's so liberating because that part of you that is underneath the mask is waiting to shine in the sunlight. It's waiting to be free, to be itself. So what's on the other side of that discomfort is so worthwhile. So that's it for the day. If you enjoyed this content, feel free to give the video a like. I would love to see a comment, and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. See you next time. Bye-bye.